Good morning, Kitchen Witches. This is your tarot and menu inspiration for the day. My name is Chef Lisa, editor-in-chief of A Chef's Grimoire magazine. We are going to pick one card, and that's going to be everything we need to know for the day. The card is going to be our inspiration as well as menu plan for us. What is there else to do? So we'll see what that card is. All right, good shuffle. Here we go. Ready? Card of the day is the sun. Shines bright. If you're in the dead of winter, a little sunshine always makes the day feel better. If you're in the summer, the longer days, everybody loves, right? Where we could be still outside at 8:30, 9 p.m. and it's still daylight, right? That's the sun. Brings clarity, it brings joy. At the same time, it could also burn. So it'll burn away things that you no longer need, but it will illuminate the darkness. So if you're in a moment where you don't know which way to turn, you get the sun card. This is clarity in the moment. This is where you can see light at the end of the tunnel. And it's actually one of those cards that just gives you a sigh of relief. The sun is here. Everything is fine, right? Numbered 19. So in numerology, a double digit, usually, unless it's the master numbers, gets added together. The two numbers get added together to become a single digit. So 1 plus 9 equals 10. 10 then gets reduced by 1 plus 0 equals 1. And who is 1 in the major arcana? The magician. So the sun and the magician have pretty much the same underlining themes. Magician teaches the fool that they have everything they need. They don't need anything else. They've got it all. They just have to learn how to use it. The sun illuminates everything so that you can see clearly and then make your decision off of clarity versus cloudiness. And of course, with that decision, you're going to utilize everything you have, right? Your mental capacity, your heart chakra, your heart empathetic, right? Your groundedness from earthen, what's it called when you, awareness, right? Where you've lived through it already. So you have the awareness of it, right? You can make conscious decisions because you've been through it. So now you know what to do and what not to do. Educated decisions. And then we did swords with the thoughts, right? We did heart, we did earthen, and then the fire underneath it with wands, right? So all of those elements come into play when you see something clearly, and that's the sun that gives you that path. And the magician teaches you that you can do it, follow the path, follow the sunshine, follow the light, and you can get there because you have everything you need. So see how they're linked? It's very interesting. And that's all with the numbers. So a major arcana, a beautiful card, and it in a reading could, depending on what's around it and the situation that is the query that you're going for, the outcome for the query. If it's a moment that is unclear and this card comes up, then you're bound to get clarity soon. And same thing in day-to-day. You get this, and maybe there's something you've been thinking about for a while, and you just don't know how to fix it. like, I don't know, I'm going to give you a really poor example, but say there's something that's broken on my website and I build my own website. I don't have any kind of IT skills whatsoever, but I built my own website. So when something breaks, it's like I have to ponder it for a couple days and do a lot of research on the internet and YouTube to find how I can try to fix. And sometimes it takes a long time and I'm in the dark with it, right? I don't know how to fix it. I can assume that maybe if I hit this and do that, it might work. Turn the computer off, turn it back on, maybe. But I'm in the dark with it, and I need to ponder it, and I need to consult the magician and say, magician, if this was you, what would you do? And they'd say, well, you know what? Use everything you got. Use your resources because they're within you. You just have to learn how to use them. So that's when I'll start to think about things that I've done in the past that have worked. I'll try it. That's the tangibility. I'll keep my hopes up high that it's going to work. That's the heart in it, and the passion and fire for being determined to fix it. And you know what? It usually works. So yeah, and that's just shining clarity into a moment that needs a little time to marinate on itself, and then it usually works and gets fixed. So that's the sun card, and that's how we bring it into our day. But if we're going to bring it into the kitchen, what else would the sun bring us but lots of vitamin C? So we're going to work with things that have quite a bit of vitamin C in them, hence breakfast. So breakfast, I'm thinking papaya with yogurt and granola. So the yogurt is the base, of course. Any type of yogurt you like. I like plain yogurt, but you can sweeten it with some honey, maple syrup, sugar, whatever you like. And then you add the papaya on top. And you finish it with a good handful of granola, store-bought or homemade, doesn't matter. It's up to you. And so it's like a parfait, and you could parfait it, meaning you put a little yogurt, put a little papaya, put a little granola, another layer, another layer, another layer. Or you could just put all the yogurt in, papaya on top with a granola crunch. Either way, put it in a really fancy sundae. You know those old-fashioned sundae? They're like a cone shaped in glass, and they have a little stem so they stand up, and a nice tall handled spoon. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Display it like that. Would be very nice. That's breakfast. Papaya has a ton of vitamin C. And then you're getting the healthy gut flora from the yogurt. And of course, the crunch and sweetness from the granola. Moving on to lunch. So we're going to do a toast, but we're going to make it with bell pepper, which has vitamin C, tomato, again, vitamin C, and we're going to chop them up fine and kind of make a pico de gallo out of it without the lime juice, cilantro, and red onion. It's just going to be those two, bell pepper and the tomato. Chop them up fine. Add a little lemon juice. And then we're going to put that on top of buttered toast, which then you can, if you wish, add a nice cheese, either feta, crumbled on top, or paneer that you've grilled a little bit or seared in the pan a little bit, so it's nice golden brown on both sides, and dice that up and put it over the top. Lunch. Interesting, right? A little different, but lots of vitamin C. Nice. And you can make that any time of year. The paneer might be a little harder to find in the winter. Feta would be your next choice. For dinner, I'm thinking we'll do skewers. There'll be chicken skewers with pineapple, which we know has vitamin C. And again, the bell pepper, bringing more in. And we're going to make like a little sauce for that. So again, it can be a lime, maybe a lime cilantro sauce would be nice, or a like a chimichurri is beautiful. The sweetness from the pineapple is going to offset anything savory that you do. So any sauce you put on it, I would suggest savory, maybe even a little acidic. So that's on the chicken skewers. And then you're going to make a coconut rice, right? Because it just goes really nicely with it. Can of coconut milk, your rice, put it into a pot with, you can just use coconut milk. I've done this in the past, but it's going to take longer to cook because the thickness of the coconut milk doesn't absorb as readily as, say, water or chicken stock to a rice. So it's going to take longer on the stove. If you still want to make a really nice coconut milk rice and you want it to cook in the same time a typical rice would, you cut the coconut milk with water. So half coconut milk, half water, to the ratio of what you're cooking your rice. And then it'll cook the same time. And still taste coconutty, right? So that is lovely. And if you wish, you can take some toasted coconut that's either sweetened or not and put that over the top of the rice with maybe a sesame seed, black sesame seed, and then your chicken skewers laid on top. Beautiful. Really nice meal. So yeah, vitamin C, bring it into your life, especially if it's the dark days of winter, because it's going to not only help you get over cold and flu season and all of that, but it's delicious and it's a little sunshine in your life. So with that, nourish yourself and nourish all those around you with your kitchen magic. See you tomorrow.